Scoreboard tells the story. 9 or better on the first ball. And it's a winner for Thomas Larsson and the European bench.
Come on, you do you. You know what you do.
That could be just one extraordinary turnaround.
All right, Thomas, I'm sure it's
now, even with the spare, Tom Doherty will have an opportunity to stand up and throw a strike to win.
One good one here.
Unbelievable turn of events, but Thomas Larsson needs to collect himself right here and make this 3-6-10 spare to force Tom Doherty to throw a strike.
It's really almost the same either way because of the count. He would have had to throw a strike to win no matter what at that point. So unexpected opportunity. Have to gather yourself now. Your heart races because all of a sudden you have a chance that you didn't think you had.
What a grandstand finish to match number 27.
Tom Doherty, a proven winner on the PBA Tour. He has answered the bell every single time thus far in this Weber Cup. Can he answer one more time and get the U.S. within 2 points of winning this Weber Cup?
Oh, can you believe it? There was contact on that decisive pin, but it did not drop. It refused to drop.
We talked about speed control throughout the match. Chris Barnes, this shot just a hair quick. The ball not setting up. Not to be. It is 9 spare and a victory.
That could so easily have been a heartbreaker, a deal breaker for Team Europe. But the bowling gods have decreed that this match should become just a little closer.
As we see Team Teese looking on.
Wow, not really what I expected there. Little left, little firm, and it looks like it just got right on top of Doherty's urethane. And count becomes very important here.
Yeah, a 6 count really penalizing in this world bowling scoring format. Richie knows that was a little quick and a little inside of target. And now he has left a very awkward spare for Jesper Svensson. As a fellow left-hander, you generally don't shoot the right-handed bucket very often as a left-hander.
You know, and speaking from experience as a right-hander that shot a lefty's bucket, this is something that can mess with your eyes a little bit. Not normal, and that'll probably be the one that Jesper shoots for the next 3 years.
Jesper Svensson, 1-for-1 lifetime, as we like to say in the U.S. This definitely outside of his purview as a left-hander, but nonetheless taking care of it. All his wits and use that experience and success he's had this year and put one up on the board.
I think that was just a lack of confidence from really understanding what the lane was doing. Being a little timid. Important for Kyle to make Chris to make the spare, and then Kyle to get himself situated and figure out the adjustment needed.
You can see Kyle's facial expression. He knew the shot was pulled left from the beginning. Lucky to only leave the 6-10.
For Team USA in this match, things are just going from bad to worse.
Well, a slower than normal start.
Sound doesn't matter.
Kyle Troop not happy with that shot at all, leaving a very difficult spare for Chris Vi. The 3, 9, 10. Anthony, how as a two-hander do you like to go at this one?
You know, personally myself, I'd probably use a backup ball here. Make sure they make it like that. Very important to use the reactive ball. Get it to make it around the corner and cover that 9 pin. A lot of times you see, you know, the 310 just made here, or us finding
to the left and just try and use a bit more friction to the right, I think.
Talking about this 43-foot lane pattern, friction off to the right. That will get the ball to hook and come back to the pocket.
There she blows. Moves a couple in, throws it to the right, uses the friction late. Perfection.
You see the game of Stu Williams, that patented short follow through, and that very, very good ball roll that he creates off of his hand.
In sports psychology is never get too far ahead of yourself. But right now, it's only human nature. Europe entitled to dare to dream.
Well, I've always said you don't count your victories 5 frames into a 10-frame match, Phil. It's hard not to be romanced by that idea, but Stu has to stay ever so present.
Yeah, not too good of a shot there by Stu. Leaked it a little right. I think he's feeling what I mentioned. The arena is getting a little warm tonight. There's a lot more people in the arena, so we have to be keeping an eye on what we do with our fit and processes.
Yeah, you can see Stu perspiring just ever so slightly and making sure that hand is very dry. Thumb especially has to be dry to get out of the ball correctly.
Pretty routine spare.
However, the count does hurt him.
Go one right here.
Chris Barnes with a strike here can take the American. His game has lasted the test of time.
Come on, right down.
The pendulum swings again.
She'll fit right in there.
It certainly does, Phil. And this 310 split, baby split, no gimme, as you see the ball of Chris Barnes going right through the heart of the pins. 310, no gimme by any stretch, especially under these circumstances.
Yeah, he executed that spare perfectly. You know, the one he made earlier, where he took the 3 into the 10.
Really good shot by you. Hopefully that's the only 9 he leaves this game.
Well, if there's one thing that's going to stand, it's going to be that 7-pin. Watch the 4 pins wrap right around the 7. Oh no.
Well, it makes Chris Barnes feel just slightly better, but it makes Jesper Svensson feel sick.
Thomas, maybe you can give us some insight on this. You've been bowling on this lane surface the last couple days. What has been wreaking havoc with the players' spare games?
I think it's a mix of a couple things, like the outside and the middle, depending on what pattern we ball on, hook a lot, and I think that's causing some of the issues. And then just with the lights, it's actually I feel like you have to aim a little bit different here, just because the lights kind of trick your eyes. So other than that, it's just there's no excuse. A couple poor shots here and there, and you miss too many spares.
Well, Jesper Svensson opening the door early for Chris Vi. Chris Vi going right through the heart. 5-count split. Chris, a very talented split maker. Let's see if he gives it a run. Uncanny how quick this can change. We see Jesper miss the 7-pin, but now Chris getting 5-3 out with a strike. Booth said how quickly these lanes are changing.
Ooh! USA off the bench, more with relief than anything else.
Head pin is going to be the one that does the damage, spinning across, just chopping the legs out on the 10. Look at this reaction.
Can you believe what you have just seen? Is this European destiny?
Well, we saw the messenger from Anthony Simonson and the power it had. Richie Teese, a very polite English strike. Head pin just knocking over the 10 pin. Sorry, mate. Right now, this is the time for Thomas Larsson. This is the time where he needs to take the lead in the match. I don't think Tom Doherty is going to give him too many more chances, and Thomas needs to step through the door, take the lead for the Europeans through 5 frames, right here with a strike. You know, bowling is a cruel game, Phil, sometimes. Watch this ball come in late, watch the 5. Just gets sent over in front of the 7, but doesn't come back and lean on it. 9 times out of 10 that it carries for a player like Thomas Larsson. Instead, it's 9. And with that spare conversion, they will be in arrears by 2.
Good shot there.
Start up. Right now.
Well, a big 7 count here, Phil, because it evens up the count. Tom getting around this ball. The bowlers get around the ball. The ball tends to jerk high. That's exactly what happened. Tom left with the 3-6-10 spare.
What a moment! What a moment!
Pulling this ball, getting too much of the 3-pin, chopping the 6-10 standing, and that is evil music ringing in the ears of Tom Doherty and keeping the Europeans 8 pins in front. Tom Doherty, 9th frame.
Doty's head in his hands. Not the time to bowl that.
Well, this shot just dead pulled. And for a man who has been so devastating to the European bench thus far, it really needs to strike here in this match, as he is a very tough opponent in this man, Kyle Troup. Well, folks, watch the ball as it accelerates forward motion, the ball not slowing down, not hooking back into the pocket as Kyle is accustomed to seeing it. It's an early open frame for the Americans. Kyle missing wide right, then going high. He's going to cut the difference right here, try to go right in between. You know, Phil, I've watched Kyle Troup on this lane for some time this weekend. The ball, as you see, the ball just driving right through the face. Kyle did everything right on that shot. He lowered his ball speed. He opened up his angle slightly, but not so far to lead the 2-4-10. And instead, the ball hooks early, and it goes right high through the face for a split. I can't tell you how frustrating that is as a player, because I've been there in those situations. It's incredibly frustrating. Dominic inherits a 31-pin lead sitting on the bench. Let's see if he can take advantage. Dominic taking more of the scenic route, if you will, playing the more left to right. Phil, I talked about that scenic route, and there are forks in that road and potholes, and Dominic just found one of them. That ball hanging to the outside, to the right, leaving the 2-4-8-10. Really, the only chance here he's going to have is to bounce it out, because he's going to get 3 for sure.
Let's go. Great shot here.
That wasn't great.
That was anything but, and these shots have been the ones that have plagued Dominic Barrett in this event for the last 2.5 days. Dom taking a very close look at the giant scoreboard we have here off to the left. Count ever so important in this world bowling scoring format.
What a moment, what a big moment that is.
Well, how many times have we seen the players overcompensate throughout this tournament, Phil? Anthony leaking the ball to the right in the third frame, getting away with it. This ball guarded to the left, and he pays the ultimate penalty, a 5-3 out in the fourth frame. And what a turn of events so quickly. Jesper Svensson can step up and take an 11-pin lead for the Europeans through 4.
It's the same adversary. That pin has been refusing to drop for Svensson all 3 days.
Yes, Phil, as you said, all 3 days. Just
All right, Dave, come on.
Oh, it's straight up, dude.
well, Jesper Svensson guarding against that wrap 7, trying to make the ball be high flush in the pocket. Gets a little too soft. Ball reading early and going high. 6-pin stands.
All right, Simon.
22 the difference. 3 frames remaining.
Get the 3. Get the 3. Get the 3.
Inopportune.
Get the 3.
Well, this ball leaked further to the right, slightly rotated. That's been the miss that has plagued Anthony Simonson thus far. You saw the 6 opens we put up on the graphic earlier. Generally, trouble befalls him if he over-rotates the shot.
Finally gets to the 3. Oh, and he hasn't. He's only got the 2.
Well, what a wonder that does for the count. And a breath of new life for Jesper Svensson. Watch the ball get too much on the left side of the 3-pin, only taking the 2 and 4, and Anthony knows. Situation simply this. Scoreboard tells the story. A strike here. The Americans finish 2-5-6. The Europeans with a strike would tie at 2-5-6. Anything less on this attempt by Anthony Simonson, the Europeans can steal it.
Sorry.
Over to you, Jesper Svensson. Anthony Simonson has done his bit.
Well, we saw a tie earlier today, Phil, in the Stu Williams-Chris Barnes match at 254. Will we see another tie today? But this one will determine if the Weber Cup continues on or if the Americans take it for the 4th consecutive year. Jesper Svensson, the entire continent of Europe resting on his shoulders. A strike, sudden death roll-off, anything less. Weber Cup goes to the U.S. for the 4th time.
You just knew it. It was preordained. Jesper Svensson, the Iceman, did not melt. You just knew it. It was preordained. Jesper Svensson, the Iceman, did not melt.
All right, here it is, folks. Here's the procedure for the sudden death roll-off. Each player will bowl 1 complete frame. Whichever player has the higher total at the end of the frame will be the winner. Anthony Simonson started the match, so he will lead first.
Eight strikes in regulation, and now that's there in the roll-off.
Anthony Simonson with a strike. Jesper Svensson must match to continue the sudden death roll-off. Otherwise, tournament over. Weber Cup goes to the Americans for the 4th year in a row. Jesper Svensson stands with the entire continent of Europe once again upon those broad shoulders. He has to deliver.
This is otherworldly, both in terms of drama and quality. Two ingredients that make up a sporting classic.
Boy, I tell you, Phil, I've seen a lot of great shots under pressure in my career. That one of the best. You couldn't place it any better. We continue the sudden death roll-off. Anthony will once again bowl a complete frame. Whatever he does, Jesper has to match or beat. Here's the situation. Anthony Simonson closes out the frame 9 spare. A strike here for Jesper Svensson wins the point, and the Weber Cup continues into the Baker match to decide the tournament. Jesper has taken a lot of big shots in his career, but none this large. He has come through the last 2 times. Can he deliver?
If anyone is equipped, Dominic Barrett knows Jesper Svensson is equipped. But it's not the finish to the match, of course. We now go to the wire when the USA led 13-8. Who would have predicted this? It is 17-17. Get ready for the great British Baker. The final match, all of the marbles coming up after the break.
Side.
You know what they say? It's not how you start, it's how you finish. When the chips were down, Barrett bowls not one but 2 strikes.
Well, Dom Barrett making a great move off that. The one he finds himself in. Keep it going for the Europeans here in the 8th.
Two strikes for the rookie in the Baker match.
Just unbelievable, Phil. Absolutely unbelievable how good Richard Teese has been. Dominic Barrett, his pick paying off huge when he needs him to.
Can Chris Barnes, Captain America, hang on to the European coattails?
For his team and for the Europeans.
That is it! Jesper Svensson can't believe it. I'm with you there, Jesper. What a performance. What a turnaround. What a transformation. The Americans, sportsmanlike, but heartbroken. They had this in the bag on more than one occasion. It was 13-8. It was 17-14. They were on the cusp, on the brink of retaining the Weber Cup. But they didn't do it. The Europeans have wrested that cup away. Matt, have you ever seen anything quite like it?
Phil, in my career, I don't think I've seen anything.
What a competition. What a Weber Cup. Dom Barrett. First time in 3 years. It's going back to Team Europe. 18-17. Have you got any words to sum up this moment?
Just look at these guys. I mean, as a team, unbelievable. Yeah, personally, I struggled there, but you dig in, and these guys, the whole weekend have been unbelievable. And Stu really got us started, I think. Jesper's always our backbone. Richie, what a debut! Just got engaged. Congratulations, Richie, and Thomas as well. I don't know how he finds that heart and those big deeps of those strikes, but it's fantastic.
I mean, when we came into this session, that opening Baker match, you were 11-15 down, and I know the positivity and the belief amongst you guys never goes away. But to come back in this fashion and take it all the way to that closing Baker match, I know you've been part of some successful European teams before. Where does this one rank, though, in terms of level of achievement?
Yeah, it's right there. It's the same. Hats up to the Americans. They're a fantastic team. They're great bowlers. I've said before that they're the hardest team we've ever played, I think, as an American team, and I think that stands true. They're fantastic. And to come all this way and to be a part of this atmosphere, I know isn't easy, and I think they've, hopefully they've enjoyed it as much as, well, not as much as we have, but you know what I mean.
I mean, Chris Barnes, probably not your most enjoyable appearance at the Weber Cup. I mean, what a tussle on this lane. Disappointment, yes, but what a performance from your team.
Well, of course, and first I want to say I couldn't be prouder of my team. They bowled great the whole time. Some fantastic moments. They gave us some things to remember. We took advantage of a lot of opportunities the first day and a half, and then the last 12 matches. So it seemed like every time we had a chance to put them away, and we left a little sliver of crack in the door, the Europeans walked through it. They came up big in every situation the last 10 or 12 matches, and and they stole this one away. I mean, it was unbelievable how good they were down the stretch.
We watched you sort of go on an emotional roller coaster in that last session in particular. As a captain, how tough was that? And how challenging was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's several different roles. Sometimes these guys they got along so well and the camaraderie was good, so it was different this year than it is some other times. Basically, my job is, don't bring the whole group down. If I'm going to sink go down, don't sink the whole ship, obviously one of my worst moments in the history of the Weber Cup, missing the spare, and it doesn't mean it would have changed anything. Stu wasn't exactly missing. So, but it would have been nice to extend it a little bit further and just see, just in case. So, but hats off the Europeans. They both fantastic, and Jesper was, he was 5-0. He was the guy that came through in the clutch all the way through to the end.
Very well said, Chris. Don Barrett, we've sung Jesper Svensson's praises plenty of times on this Weber Cup lane. Just how good was he today?
Jesper.
Unbelievable.
Jesper had his sort of struggles carrying the 7-pin a little bit, and we just fought through so many things over the last 3 days, and that was his issue. And Jesper's the best bowler on our team. I think he's going to go on to probably be the best bowler in Europe ever, and so glad he's wearing blue and not red.
I think the crowd very much shared those sentiments. Right, time to give out some hardware, shall we? And welcome onto the stage